Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Hello, Philip.
Hey, welcome, friends.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. We got a bunch of people in the chat already. Good.
Yes, we do. And I want to welcome everybody to the Memorial Day show.
Yes, indeedy. And as a good friend of ours, Tom Becker pointed out today, a greeting of Happy Memorial Day just doesn't quite seem apropos. As you know, on this day is when we remember those that gave it everything. So we can do what we do. I mean, you know what? If those guys didn't give their lives, Philip, we wouldn't be able to do this show. We wouldn't be able to metal detect when we want to, where we want to, all that kind of stuff. We would not have the freedoms that we enjoy today at all.
Yes, that's for sure. So it's not Happy Memorial Day. It
is just Memorial Day, and I think
Memorial Day. It's about memories.
Yep, and I think what I'd like to do, if you're okay with it, which I'm sure you probably will be, we're going to start off the show tonight with a little prayer for all those that gave everything they have. And if y'all are not, if you're offended by prayer, then I would suggest you go away for a minute and then come back for all the good information we have from our guests tonight. And then I'm going to run a little something special we were working on that Phil and I both feel deeply about. So with your permission, let's just have a moment of silence and a little prayer for all those that gave everything they had. And for all those, for all of us out here that got to be dads.
Right.
And there's a lot of those that didn't get to be a dad. So let's just say a little silent prayer for that, if you would. And we sincerely hope that in this world that we live in today, that we don't have to have any more of that kind of thing.
Yes.
Let's just all live, get along, everybody do what they're going to do. So with that being said, let's have our little tribute, shall we, Phil?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay. Do.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife.
I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.
God bless the USA.
God bless the USA.
From the lakes of Minnesota
to the hills of Tennessee,
across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea.
from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And
And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. And I'm proud to be an American. Where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless, please bless the USA.
All right, that was perfect, Jeff.
That is indeed. It's something that that never fails to get to me.
Yes, especially all the soldiers singing that.
Oh yeah, I mean, such talent, and it just kind of it chokes me up a little bit. So
Yes,
thank
me
you
too.
everybody for indulging my whims.
Yes, that was awesome. Well, do we have to do the housekeeping?
Yes, we do.
Okay, as always, today's show is brought to you by your friends right here at Myers Metal Detectors. And you can see right behind me some of the products that we have with my new camera on the tripod. Made it look a whole lot better, didn't it, Jeff?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. See, a lot of people feel they don't realize how much stuff you've got in stock.
Yes, and this is just a little corner of it. We got the rest of the back of the shop, and it's just great. So I guess I better keep going. And now I forgot where I was at.
Oh, I don't know, but Alicia, and you've got what a lot of people don't realize is you've got a little corner over there where Big Poppy keeps the zazich.
Yes, yes, we do. And let's see. As always, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed here by the Treasure Talk guest and member belong solely to the guest and member, not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Monin. And of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting in all forms, and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And that's what we do every single Monday night we're here.
Yes, it is. We do indeed. And we're going to do that big time tonight.
Yes, we are. We got an awesome. Go ahead.
I just thought, while we were chatting before we went on, there's something new that he's developed, isn't there?
Yes, that Carter's got out.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, he's got a bunch of new stuff, but he does have the treasure cases. That's one of them.
And we're going to give one of those away.
Yes, we are. And that's actually the one we're giving away. And there's a 1830s forage cap button. There's a 4-hole pewter button, which would be the pants button. And there's a musket ball. There's a piece of flint and a flint patch and a handmade square nail. All that was dug in Tampa, Florida by myself years ago.
Very, very good. And that's a display case made by Carter.
Yes, it is. And we have these in different sizes. And, during the pandemic, the price of the displays cases kind of skyrocketed. And now Carter came out with them. And let me see. Yeah, you can get 5 of those in this size here. And I believe it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's $28.95 for 5 of them.
Well, that's a great deal.
So it's a steal of a price on those. And there's different sizes. And I know Carter's going to come out with some larger sizes also.
I tell you what, the man never stops, does he?
Yeah, it comes out with some really cool stuff. And we're going to talk about the detector, the Uniprobe tonight for sure, and some other stuff. And Sam Truckley says, Phil, the camera is placed great now. We don't see the top of your head. I'm not getting cut off anymore. Yes, it's not on the computer anymore. So we're not cutting my head off. If I move the display to read it, it makes it hard to read the little type on the computer display sometimes. And and before I was doing that. So now we mounted it on a tripod so you can see me perfectly now.
And so that's some of the upgrades that we're trying to do to make the show better. We've gone to headsets with mics. which makes our sound better, I think.
Yes.
Let us know for sure if you guys think the sound is better. We've got Phil set up with studio lights and an external camera and a headset. So everything's looking good in my mind. Just let us know what y'all think.
Well, Howard Hudson says we still can't see Jocelyn, but I don't think she wants to be on here for some reason.
No, she's the Wizard of Oz. She wants to be behind the curtain.
Yes, it was all her idea and all to get this going, and it's been nothing but fun, hasn't it, Jeff?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
So,
well, I think we're burning daylight
yes,
here.
we are. We better get our guests on here for sure.
Yeah, we get the blabbing and just.
Yeah, we'll be just shooting it. So let's
that's
get our
right
guests on for sure.
Yeah, we got an innovator, a mover, and a shaker.
Yeah, he has. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say he has, all the different Detector Pro products that we have here in the shop. He's probably got the most aftermarket products or innovative products of any manufacturer in the store here, other than your manufacturers like the detector manufacturers. It's detector manufacturers like MindLab and Garrett and Naka, and then you have Carter with Detector Pro and Gray Ghost.
And fantastic products. And the key there is he makes it, when he comes out with a product, it's for a lot of different detectors. So the masses can take advantage of his, his good stuff.
Right. And I think he uses it himself, so he knows how to make it because he wants to use it.
Yeah, that's a big point. That's a big point. Yeah. So let's quit blathering and let's bring the man on. Here is from the makers and Detector Pro, Gray Ghost, and all kinds of good stuff, Carter Pennington.
Hey guys.
Carter, how are you doing?
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and you're not at the beach today, right?
Oh no. This is my daughter didn't like the background setting. They came over for a Memorial afternoon dinner, and she said, "Let me try something," and she uploaded a picture for the background.
Well, it looks really good. So she did a good job for sure.
Yeah, I wish I was there. It looks good.
Yeah, it'd be a little crowded for me. I'd like to go the day after, maybe. That would be better when all the people have left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here, I tell you what, it's getting thick in the chat, Phil.
Is it?
And I'm going to get Sam Truckley. She is feeding Jocelyn. Jocelyn is the brains of the operation.
Yeah. Beauty and brains of the operation.
And then Jocelyn, that's right, I certainly am.
Yeah, she's the beauty and the brains, and she can text me back and forth now so that she doesn't have to yell from across the room. But I think sometimes she just likes to yell something at me. She likes to yell at me.
Well, something else I got to say. I got to say this for all those people in the state of Ohio or anywhere around Ohio. If you want the best barbecue you can ever find, let me tell you what, Valhalla Barbecue or Valhalla Q has got the best barbecue in the entire world. Jimmy Truckley has kryptonite skills when it comes to making barbecue. You've got to give him a shot. Fantastic. None better anywhere.
All right. Well, that's cool. Anyway, let's get started with Carter since we got him on here. Let's talk about some new products that you've come out with.
Okay. Well, you guys mentioned the Uniprobe that was brought out earlier this year. The Uniprobe, people have asked me about it, and it's actually a metal detector built into the headphones. It's a pulse induction circuitry, and by flicking the switch, you hear either the pulse detector, which is the pinpointer, or you hear your machine. So it's instantaneous, and being a pulse circuit, it works around salt water, it works around the real bad dirt, like in Virginia, Culpeper, that red dirt that's very ironized. So it's a different type. It's not your normal type of pinpointer where you hold it over the target and you can hear it constantly beep. This is actually like a pulse machine where you have to move the wand back and forth. And if you hold it right over your target, it'll disappear. So it's something that you got to get used to, but it's not hard to do, especially if you're familiar with the pulse machines.
Yeah, and I got one of them right here, and this one is for the XP Deus.
Mhm.
And you can put the puck from your headphones right on here, which I never did like the Deus XP Deus. I think they call them the back phone or whatever it is. I don't like them sitting on the back of my neck, so I always like this style of headphone. So this is a perfect way to use that puck as a headphone. It works great like that.
And the way I use it, I'm mainly up here in the Northeast, doing a lot of woods hunting and old places, foundations and whatnot. I keep the probe in my pouch. So it comes across like this, right down my pouch. And when I kneel down to dig the target, I just pull the probe out and flick a switch. So it's you could use it. I have it set up because I use the D2 right now, but you can also use it with any other metal detector. There's different cables made for any different machine. So you're not limited to just one type of detector to use it with.
And I see Tom Becker is asking, does it work with the Manicore? Well, it would be a different headphone with the Manicore.
No, it's actually the same exact headphone. What you're getting that's different would be the cable. The cable's going to have the waterproof Manticore / Equinox plug on it. And then you have a mini XLR connector that plugs into the headphones. So the headphones are going to be the same. It's just your cable with the type of plug that's going to be different.
Yeah, that's the waterproof connector for the Equinox or the Manicore.
Yep.
The same headphone. That's a nice setup. So if somebody's dirt digging, that would be an excellent headphone for sure. And we're going to do a special on those tonight. I have them on my website, but if you call me tomorrow, if you want to do one of those, we're going to do $25 off show special coupon for that, for the Uniprobe products. So if anybody wants that, take a look at it on my website. And Carter, you have some videos on it too, don't you?
On the Uniprobe, absolutely. If you go to Detector Pro and click on the Uniprobe on the main page, it'll take you to the Uniprobe page, giving you all the features. And at the bottom of the page, there's a video showing a demonstration on how it works in different conditions.
Right. I think I saw the one where you were using the hot soil from Culpeper,
Yes.
and it was hitting the target every time.
Well, that's part of the video. You know how with a regular pinpointer, you have to retune it to that ground. And what happens is you'll end up losing depth doing that. But with the pulse circuitry, it just readjusts to the ground. So you're able to hear a button at 3-4 inches without a problem.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's an awesome product.
Yeah, and that's another thing with the depth on this thing. I'm able to hear a nickel at 4 or 5 inches consistently. So most of the time when you open your plug, you're going to find your target relatively quickly. And it's a thinner probe too. I got one here just to show you, if you can tell by looking at this. But it's just it's a long, thin probe. Is it disappearing on you? Or can you see that?
No, we can see it.
We can see it.
So it's you get right on the target. The sensitivity is mainly on the tip, but you also get a little around the edge. So when you're right on top of it, you hear it without a problem.
I can imagine that would work good for dirt hunting and like a ball field or whatnot. And most of the targets aren't really that deep, but you can get right on it with that 4 inches.
It's funny you mentioned that. I go to the park sometimes, and there are many times if it's within a few inches, before I cut a plug, I can hear it just dragging the probe on top of the dirt.
Yeah, so you could really narrow it down before you start digging anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bonus.
Yeah, another bonus when you're down, there's a lot of people. You're not. You hear your probe immediately. It's in your headset, so you're not sharing it with everybody when you got that target. Normally my old probes, you hear them beeping really loud, and everyone else hears it as well. But when you flick your switch, you go instantly from you're hearing your detector to hearing the probe. And once you find the target, you flick it back, and then you're hearing your detector again.
Right. And I'm seeing the comment here on the screen. Ricky T said, I want a set of headphones with the probe. And it's an awesome, well, that quick it left me, but it said it's an awesome product. I guess there are people, you're commenting too fast. I can't read it as it goes past on the screen.
Yeah. Well, last month I was up at a hunt in the Northeast in New Hampshire called the Bone Hunt. Have you ever heard of that? Best of the Northeast? They've had it for over 30 years now, and we get on some old properties, farmlands and whatnot. So I was using mine up there, and I had a few people come up and watching and inquiring, and they ended up getting them. It's the kind of thing you have to really try out and see it working,
Yeah, and it looks like we got that question from Trumbull Treasure Hunters. Can I send my amphibian headphones to have the CTX end removed and a 1/4-inch plug at it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But then you're not going in the water with them. That 1/4-inch plug's not waterproof. But if they want to have it done, we could swap out cables. Just tell them to email info@Detector Pro, and our service central will be in touch with them.
Okay. So they can hear that, what they have to do. And, but going back to the Uniprobe, they could probably buy one set of Uniprobe headphone and buy different plugs for it, right? You could do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know one of the customers recently has a Deus 2 they just got, but they said, I still like using my Equinox. They have the Equinox 800 from a few years back. And so all I did was include an extra cable so they could use it with either. It's flexible where you could buy a cable for any machine.
Right. So they could have it for their MindLab product or a 1/4-inch headphone. If they had an old Fisher or something, they could use it on that.
Or even the Garrett's with their all-terrain machines, they have a special waterproof plug. We have those cables as well.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, because you make those plugs for your amphibian headphones too.
That's correct.
That's our number one seller in here for waterproof headphones for the Garrett products. Not so much that anymore. That kind of slowed down, but for the Garrett, I mean, it's still number one for Garrett. We just don't sell a lot of those now with all the multi-frequency detectors.
Right.
But for your score, double score, NACA, for the Equinox, the Deus 2, for all those, you guys have the amphibian products for those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how you doing over there, Jeff?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. So what other new products are you working on besides the Uniprobe?
Well, right now, I have a couple things that I make if it's something I got to use myself. I was in the woods with my Deus 1 a while ago, and I don't know how many people have done this. I've talked to a couple where you knock off your control box by accident, and then it ends up you have to backtrack to find it. And so I just made something really simple. It's an elastic attachment that I use on the D1. I also have it on my D2 just to show you. I'm hoping this shows up all right. On the back of the control box, there's a strip right here that's Velcroed, and then you could see the black wrapping around, and then it Velcros on top. So it's totally out of the way. It won't catch on anything. But if this pops off, instead of getting lost in the woods, it literally just dangles. So it's cheap insurance because these things are a fortune to replace.
Yes, they are.
And then let me see if you can see this. This is on my Uniprobe. All right, do you see I have the puck clipped on there? And there's also a short piece of elastic. So if you're around branches and you happen to knock this off, which it doesn't take a lot to knock it off, it'll do this and just hang there.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah. Well, I had some experience with that down on the Treasure Coast last year. A wave got me and just tumbled me, and my shaft broke on my detector. And unfortunately, I had a Dan's lanyard that I had him make for the Deus 2 and the Deus attached. And that's the only thing that saved it, because my detector's out there rumbling around in the waves, and some guy jumped in, and a young guy jumped in and got it, and it was still attached to it. So anything you can get to attach that remote to the shaft, get it. And that looks like a good one to me.
Yeah. Well, since I came out with these, it's actually one time saved me. One time I was walking through the woods and I just noticed it dangling. I didn't even know when I knocked it off, but it was just dangling next to me. So that one time was worth it. So
yeah.
For under $10, you're getting both of those things, and it's cheap insurance.
Yes, because like I said, I think I just sold one of those Deus 2 remotes last week, and if I'm not mistaken, it was $700. So
Yeah, that's about it.
that's as expensive. I
Yeah.
Yes, and Sam Truckley wrote, "I love my Gray Ghost pouch and the number of pockets with the mesh and bottom and the headset." So, so that I'm throwing stuff. That must be the Gray Ghost Ultimate Catch-All. We've
Yeah,
got,
that's the regular. Then you got the deep.
and you got the deep.
Yeah.
We stock both of these, and these are our most popular pouches for dirt digging and coin and relic hunting. They're top of the line because they've got the mesh in the bottom, so all the sand drains out, makes it really nice.
You know, and the good thing about them too is they've got that metal or whatever you did with it, Carter, in the top that you can kind of close it.
Yes. Yeah. My old pouch, I remember, was kind of floppy and it would, go everywhere, opening and closing. So I put a pretty thick wire rim around the top so you could bend it where you want it and it'll stay.
A lot of people wear them in the water when they're hunting.
Yeah, I use mine in the water as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I have some hunters who use this in the water, and they love them. You use them everywhere, like all terrain.
Yeah.
To me, and that pouch is hard to beat. I think that's probably the gold standard of metal detecting finds pouches.
Yeah, and Jocelyn just told me Hot Mess Fishing just said they're awesome pouches, so she must use it too. It's a good product. I use a pouch. I use one of those also. I like that you can put your pinpointer right in the pouch itself. It's got a slot for that, so that makes it nice. So yeah,
you know what you just mentioned? Her name Alicia. I saw her out at the bone hunt in the Northeast in New Hampshire, and she's serious detectorist. She actually has a channel, and then her name is her channel. So it's something worth watching. She's a hardcore detectorist.
Okay,
Mass fishing.
So you mentioned that you went to the bone hunt. What did you find there?
Lots of neat stuff. We went to an old tavern site and found large cents. Somebody found a sterling silver bookmark that was Victorian. Just really nice stuff. Nothing outrageous. But this one person from Tennessee, she found a Massachusetts regimental button from the Revolutionary War. It's absolutely gorgeous. It has the Indian on the front with the word Massachusetts all the way around. It looks just like the coin, but they made the militia button to look the same as the coin. And it was funny because she had about, I think, 12 or 13 buttons from this one cellar hole, and they were pretty much all flat buttons. And she goes, "I think I see something on this button," and my jaw hit the table. And you don't see those too often.
And I just was reading on the comments, and Claudia Lamberson said, "That's me."
That's her. That's exactly right. She's the one that found it. And again, I've been doing this now. It's my 51st year of hunting, and I've seen 2 of them come out. That's how rare those things are.
Okay, and she also said the highlight of the bone hunt was meeting Carter.
Well, you know what? It's because we went to the tavern together, and she was a hardcore hunter finding stuff, and we were comparing signals. And she's pretty new at the hobby, but she's doing very well. She's learning.
Okay.
Well, that's the key: is never stop learning.
No. I mean, I got in the business end of this, not that long ago, maybe 10 years ago. But the hobby itself, I've loved since '73. So, and it hasn't faded yet. Still into it.
Well, awesome. And I did read a comment earlier up the thread, but it went by so quick. And the person said, I hunted with some folks from Florida, and they all had the ultimate pouch on. So I guess I must have sold it to them, though. They were from Florida. That had to be my sale.
All the way anywhere around the country, you could have sold it to them.
Yeah, I know that. But from Florida, it's guaranteed I was the one. Yeah, it was Detecting Adventures. All the guys I hunted with in Florida use that pouch.
Cool.
So that's cool.
Yep.
You
So
can see that question, Phil?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Any plans to make your pinpointer Bluetooth or able to connect to ear pods? It's hot wearing headphones. And that's from Bill Crow.
You know what? That's actually a good idea, and I've had that suggested. It's something I'm looking at, but there's no release date yet. There's a lot of trial because you need that. Bluetooth now is a lot quicker, which is good. In the old days, you had a delay, and now it's a lot quicker. So we're looking into doing something down the road, but nothing in the near future.
Cool. Well, Philip, shall we give away your prize?
Yes, let's give away the artifacts. Now,
Okay.
these are in a treasure case by Carter's company, Detector Pro, and we do stock these now in the shop in a 5-pack, or you can buy singles if you like. But this has in there, and I don't know if my camera can show it. It's got a forge cap button. It's got a 4-hole pewter. It's got a square nail. It's got musket ball, musket flint, and a piece of flint patch.
Yep. So this is what you put in. That's what you put in the chat for this prize. So go ahead and do that just exactly as I have it there. Remember, it has to be exactly like I have it there. So if you enter that in the chat, you'll be entered, and we'll get that drawing going here real quickly. I'll leave that up for a second till I see people. Okay, get it in there, and you will win that prize with all the goodies in it.
Yes, for sure. And something else might be in the envelope when it chips out.
Well, I know one thing there's going to be.
It'll probably be one of those yellow treasure
it's coveted worldwide.
Yes, it is. See, the purpose of that towel, too, is also to use for padding on this, so it doesn't get broken in shipping. But let's talk about another product that you have, Carter. And for you folks who haven't bought one of those 18-inch coils for your Equinox that you can see in my background here, or like the 15-inch Manicore. I think that's what this is. Yeah, M15 coil. When you have to swing a big coil like that, you need one of these guys here, the detecting pal. So, because those things are heavy, when do you use your detecting pal, Carter?
Well, I've had the CTX with the 17-inch coil.
Oh, gee, that's even worse.
Yeah, I've taken that out in the fields before, and I said, let me see how we could get the weight off it. So this actually just, you put a padded loop. Let's say I'm right-handed, so I put my left arm through a padded loop, comes around the back of my shoulder blades and over this collarbone right here, and all the weight is taken off your wrist and arm. It kind of just swings like a pendulum. Yeah. And so I found that I could go a lot longer. I've only used it a few times when I'm out in the big fields with the 17-inch coil and the CTX. Now with the D2, I don't need it, but with the heavier, older machines, it was a must. And another observation I noticed: there's a lot more ladies involved in the hobby now than I've ever seen. When I was up at Bone, there used to be a handful that would show up, and now I would say 20% easily of the people hunting were ladies, and a few of them were using that also. It helps. So it's the one in particular, there was this lady, Valerie from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and she was using her Uniprobe and talking about how very, very in shape person, but no matter how in shape you are, after a while those machines could give you some wear and tear on your elbow or your wrist. So the detecting pal is something that certainly will help that, because none of us are getting any younger.
Yeah, well, it's a type of thing. If you have wrist problems or shoulder problems, even if you're using a Deus, put it on there. What can it hurt? It's not that expensive. It's a very, very reasonable cost for that, and that can absolutely extend your hunting time by hours.
Yeah, that's what Claudia Lamberson said. That harness extended my hunt time at my hunt last weekend in Virginia. So easy and lightweight itself.
Yeah,
so easy to use and lightweight. So that extended her hunt time. So that's a perfect reason to use it. I also include it when somebody does buy that 18-inch Equinox coil. I just throw that in on the deal so they don't have, because that coil is big and it makes your detector front top heavy, whatnot, and it just pulls at you. So that would eliminate that problem for sure.
Okay, you ready to give something away, Phil?
Yeah, let's try that. Let's do that. This is for the artifacts dug here in Tampa, Florida at Fort Brooke, which was a fort in the 1820s up until 1870s.
Old Pilon.
Old Pilon is the winner.
Yes, sir. And you got to, where's what you do? I mean, get rid of that. And let me pop up the, there's where you got send your name, address, and phone number. Name, address, and phone number in email to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. And we will get that out to you ASAP. And you're going to be glad you won that. Congratulations.
Awesome. So it looks like Jocelyn may be having some technical difficulties here for a second, Jeff. So I'm going to jump out. But Carter, why don't you give us a little bit of your background, how long you've been detecting, and chat with Jeff for a second. So I'm going to duck out for a second.
Sure.
So tell us all about yourself, Carter.
Oh, well, just been loving the hobby for a long time. Started with a Detect Tiny Text BFO detector. And back then, there was no such thing as discrimination. You dug everything. And nobody really did it around where I live. Me and my one friend did it. So we used to come back with so much stuff back in those days. And nobody knew what you were doing. They used to walk up to me asking if I was cutting the grass or fertilizing or whatever. They had no idea. And there was never any posted signs that you couldn't go in. We kind of went anywhere we wanted as young teenagers. And it's something that everybody said, oh, you'll grow out of it. It never happened. Still loving the hobby. So just through a lot of machines, starting with that BFO and then going with a White's Coinmaster 2, the big bread box looking detector. That was also a TR machine, but no discriminator. And then the first discriminator was the Red Baron, the Bounty Hunter VLF SPD. That was in the late 70s, and that was like a dream, being able to knock out iron. I thought that was the greatest thing. And so after that, went to the Fishers, the 1220X I thought was great, the 1266. And then the Whites came out with the DI Series 3. That was a fun machine. The Eagle 2, it just kept going. But then MindLab changed it with these multi-frequency machines. They the Explorer, when that came out in the late 90s, I went back to all the same places I've been hunting for decades, and that machine was like a vacuum in terms of picking up the deep targets. And, those multi-frequencies, they really did the trick. That was exciting times.
Yeah, well, you guys, a lot of people maybe not know that you used to test different machines on videos.
Oh, yeah.
And you were doing a lot of diving, and a lot of the ones I watched, it was cold. You had them big old dive mitts on, and dropping stuff you found.
Yeah. I still get out there, still do it. And last time I was in the water was, I think, October, and I'll be getting out there again soon. It's just something I love doing, taking the different machines down there. I'm going to actually try the D2. I'm going to take that down next time because they're saying it's great for diving. So now that it's multi-frequency, being a multi-frequency machine, it should be good.
Yeah, I would think everything I hear about it. Now it's my water machine, and everything I hear about it for diving, it's just exceptional.
Yeah,
and they do make a dive shaft for it, or another one that makes a good dive shaft for it would be Steve's Detector rods. He makes great products, and it's pretty good. I tell you, I think you'll like. If you like it on the land, you're going to love it in the water.
No, I can't wait. Can't wait to give it a shot. I'll definitely send you guys a link once I get down there.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, when do you think you're going to go diving? We'll get you back in the fall. You can give us a report.
Most definitely. I will certainly be in there the month of September. That's when the Northeast, the water's the warmest. Heats up during the summer. September is usually in the 70s, low 70s. The visibility is really good. So I do a lot of diving the month of September. So, yeah, we could Get on in October. That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be great. We'll get it done. I'll send you an email.
Okay.
I think I got the perfect date. Now I probably won't be here, but Philip will be here. So I'm thinking October 7th.
Sounds good.
Put it on your calendar. It's done.
All right.
I'll write it down so I don't forget it because I'm an old person.
All righty, Carter. So tell us some of your most favorite finds that you had.
Oh gosh. My favorite stuff is Revolutionary War items. And sometimes you get in the water and you go around where they were near land, you find pewter buttons and stuff that come out like they were dropped because the water preserves a pewter. Where if you get a pewter button on land, they break apart and decay pretty much.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. But in the water, I pulled out a couple beauties. So my favorite are the Rev War uniform buttons, from some of the British and of course the USA buttons.
Yeah, the USA buttons are really cool looking. I've never found one, but the pewter ones are really cool looking.
Yeah.
So it looks like we have a question from Surfside Dan. Was your diving partner Gary?
Yeah. Oh, for years. Gosh, Gary and I'd say up until the last 3 years, we were out constantly. This guy, if you look at my videos, he's in a lot of them. We dove for the last 20 years together, but he's slowed down a little bit in terms of the diving. But yeah, we dove for a long time. He's an older, hardcore diver. He's done very well over the years, has probably some of the most amazing items I've ever seen. And he's the one who got me into doing the cold water diving way back when. Convinced me to get a dry suit and try it out. So yeah, I know Gary very well.
Okay. And, on your website, you have those cold water gloves.
Yes.
That's probably not a product that I'm going to sell here in Florida, but
yeah, those are gloves where, Gary and I used to go wading a lot, and our hands would lose feeling because the wading gloves we use, the gauntlet gloves you call them, you could only maybe fit a very thin knit glove in there, and that's it, nothing else. So what I did was I had these gloves made where the hands are large enough where you could put winter gloves on and stick them in the gauntlet. So this way you could work that water in the wintertime and not lose feeling in your hands.
Yeah. I saw them on your site and I was pretty impressed with them, but I just thought, man, nobody's going to be using those in South Florida.
No, you don't need those on there. No.
Okay, and then this is from Claudia Lamperson. She's asking, what do you consider your best find diving?
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, I could say my favorite find, best find is, I guess, your own personal taste. I found some really neat antique jewelry, stuff with dates on it. Got a men's wedding band that was dated 1861, so I relate that to Civil War times, and that was exciting. But my personal favorite is, again, the Revolutionary War stuff. So diving, I remember being down around 40, 45 feet and seeing the USA button come out. And I must have sucked through 100 pounds of air real quick because I got very excited. So that was probably one of my most thrilling finds. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched you find a lot of old rings. I mean, really old rings, from 1800s. And they look just as good as new. Gold doesn't tarnish.
It's amazing. Gold is amazing. What's neat is, I have a few black rings that are made of 10 karat gold because that's only 41% pure. The rest of it is filler metals. But if you leave that 10 karat gold in salt water long enough, the impurities will cause it to turn black, but it still looks great. It's just got a black finish to it. So, that's a 10 karat. But anything 14 karat and above comes out really nice.
Yes, indeed.
Mm.
Yeah, and Steve Warren is asking, what machine did you use when you were diving?
Oh, the Excalibur is my go-to machine. Yeah, been using that for years. Matter of fact, I remember when Gary was running Detector Pro. This is now back in the 90s. He took the Sovereign and made the waterproof case for the Excalibur that's still being used today. Yeah. Because he tested it at the beach. He was so amazed. He goes, it's like a PI machine with discrimination. That's how deep he said it was going. So he developed this waterproof housing And, since then I've used a bunch of different water machines, all the different brands, but that Excalibur is reliable and really works well.
Now, do you use it in the pinpoint mode or do you hunt in the discriminate mode?
I hunt the discriminate mode, and if I hear a bump in the threshold, then I flip it over to all metal. I have the switch. Beach Nut Joe, a friend of mine, where you could flick a toggle switch on your handle and go from pinpoint to discriminate.
Yeah.
And that helps a lot. So if you're going along and you have a nice steady threshold and you hear a disturbance, doesn't have to be a signal, just a little disturbance, flick the switch, and there are times then you will hear that signal in all metal very faintly. And sometimes if you go in all metal, I found that where there's really deep stuff, if you go in all metal and hear a very faint target, flick it to discriminate and go over it, it might not come back or might even null out a little bit. But if you take away a couple inches of sand, that same signal, now in discriminate, you start to get it. Which is an interesting point on that Excalibur. So that's gotten me a lot of deep targets.
It did for me at St. Pete Beach. I was about chest deep, a little deeper, and I had the Excalibur at that time with the remote pinpoint switch on it. I always hunted in all metal.
Yeah.
And all I got was a null.
Yep.
Breaking the threshold. So I put a couple of scoops on it, then flipped it over to discriminate, and it come through. And there was about 3 more scoops down, and it was a old men's gold 14-karat gold ring with 6 diamonds.
Wow, nice.
And it just looked as good as the day they dropped it.
Yeah, and tell you what, on the Northeast here, where I do a lot of the hunting, I go and research where there used to be docks that were destroyed either in the storm of 1898 or the storm of 1938. 2 real big ones up here. And I'll go out there and find the pilings and start working around those pilings. And I've gotten signals like you're describing underwater, where in all metal, I hear a very faint signal, but nothing to discriminate or nulls. All I do is wave my hand. There's no digging with tools underwater. You're just waving your hand, So I'll wave away a couple of inches, and then I go over, it starts to come back. And I've hit some, like you say, really good stuff down deep that way.
Yeah.
Right here.
Cool. We better give away a Uniprobe.
Yeah, we better our time is flying, so we better do the Uniprobe.
Okay, folks, we're going to give away one of Carter's Uniprobes to the lucky winner for the detector that you have, because he has them for everything. So this is what you put in the chat, just like I have it there. #Uniprobe, all caps. Do it just exactly that way. Excuse me. And then we're going to do a drawing, and you are going to be a lucky winner of one of Carter's fantastic Uniprobes, and they are nice, let me tell you. So I'll leave that there for a second or two so y'all know what you're doing, and then we'll get this drawing underway.
Yes.
I tell you what, our time's flying, Phil.
Yes, it did. We got to get a move on this one. So might want to put it up for a couple of minutes. And just a reminder, if you aren't the lucky winner and you want a Uniprobe, then we're going to do the $25 off. You would just have to call me here to shop tomorrow. And also want to remind folks that I'm in here tomorrow and Wednesday. I'm going to duck out a little early because I got an eye doctor's appointment. So I'll probably leave the shop here at, I think, around 2 o'clock. So hit me up early on Wednesday if you're coming in, for sure.
But he's always there, so call. 813-237-1939.
And I do pick up my phone early in the morning, too, at least after 8:30.
Well, see, early in the morning for Philip is 9.
Yes, you know me, Jeff.
I do.
And it looks like everybody's commenting on what an awesome giveaway we're doing here tonight. So thank you for doing that, Carter, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we had a question along that line. Let's pop it up there.
What powers? That's a good question. What powers the Uniprobe?
That is a good question. People think maybe because you plug it in and it's hooked up to your machine, but that's not the case. It's a separate metal detector, and it's a simple 9-volt battery. And I use either a good alkaline, or the case right now, I have a lithium in there, and I put it in there in February, and it's still good. So it lasts. So if you get a good battery, it lasts a long time. I don't recommend your standard heavy duty battery. just a good lithium ion or good alkaline battery, and you'll get a lot of use out of it. And remember, this is a self-contained metal detector, so if you don't want to even have your metal detector, you just want to bring the Uniprobe somewhere, you could use that as well.
Now, it's waterproof, isn't it, Carter?
The probe and cable, so you could stick it in the mud, not the headphones, but the probe itself and the cable are waterproof. I always stick mine down in the hole with water and mud all the time.
That would be perfect if you were, on the beach. You want to do, that'd be great in a park someplace, because you're going 5-6 inches deep with that Uniprobe. So that'd be perfect.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it'd be an excellent addition to your toolbox.
Oh, I do too.
For sure.
Well, shall we do this?
Yeah, let's do the drawing.
Okay, let me get all situated. So, and around and around and around we go. Let's see who's going to win a Uniprobe. Metal Sharks. Metal Sharks is the winner of the Uniprobe. Outstanding. Outstanding.
And they know
that's what you do, Metal Sharks. You send your name, address, and phone number to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. We'll get that to Carter, and he will get your Uniprobe. Make sure you put the type of machine that you have that you need the Uniprobe for. Otherwise, we're going to have to email back and forth, and we don't want to do that. Name, address, phone number, the type of machine that you're using that you want the Uniprobe for. Then you're good to go.
So, Carter, you mentioned the bone hunt. Do you do any other hunts like that? Organized hunts?
I've done a couple before. I'm going to start doing more of them. Haven't done a whole lot. We have a good club here locally that gets some good sites. So we do that as a group, but it's a small group, maybe 40, 50 people that go. I've done digging in Virginia several times. Haven't done that in a few years, but I've been down there in Culpeper. So I plan on doing some more hunts this year coming up. I'm going to look at the calendar and see what's out there.
How long have you been a club member?
A what member?
A club member of your club?
Oh my gosh, for the Detecting Club, many, many years. I don't know exactly how long, but locally a long time.
Yeah, I think that the local clubs are a good place especially for new people to get started.
Oh yeah.
Most clubs are the same. I'm sure yours has a monthly fines competition.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a lot of fun. You have a lot of old timers like us, and then you have, so like you said, some new people that join up. They've been doing it a year or so, and it's a lot of fun. They love to learn, and they're pretty wowed by all the fines that these people bring in. Because in this area, these guys every year, they come every week rather. Stuff's being found, and then once a month you display it. You bring in what you found between meetings. So our next meeting's coming up June 11th, I think it is. And so whatever we're finding, it's going. I was with a guy 2 weeks ago, took him to an old spot. He pulled out a 1795 Liberty Cap large cent. Yeah, that's a bucket list find. Beautiful coin. So I have a feeling he's going to win hands down at the next meeting. Yeah,
he's got coins single wrapped up for sure.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. So, this is a good question from Sam Truckley. She's asking, how well does the probe pick up gold, fine gold? I guess she's using it for nugget hunting.
It works without a problem. I have a nugget that is what was it? I'm trying to remember, 0.45 or 0.75 of a gram. So it's pretty tiny, and I get a clear signal with it. The pulse circuitry is pretty sensitive to the lower conductive targets.
Oh, okay.
So you'll detect a nickel deeper than you would a silver dime.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's more the pulse circuitry is more sensitive to the lower the target. So gold nuggets definitely will work well for that.
All right. So if you're gold prospecting, that's one to use for sure.
Yep. And again, if you're in that harsh dirt, a regular probe, you know how it works. It's you have to retune it to the ground, and then you lose all your depth. But with the pulse circuitry, you could hear it retune, and then you're fine.
Awesome. So I wanted this is your product here too, isn't it?
That is the shovel holster. Yes. Yep. I use that. And I have it hooked on the side of my pouch, so it's actually sitting on my hip towards the back a little bit. and I have my shovel hooked to it, and I'm walking through the fields, and the shovel is dragging on the ground. So, that's how I use it. Some people have it right on their side where it hangs the length of the leg. It depends how long the shovel is, I guess.
Right. If it's a short shovel or a long one.
Yeah.
Casey from Excalibur Shovels makes this little hand digger.
Oh, yeah.
Shovel,
Yeah.
and that works perfect in that.
Yeah. It fits right on there. Yep.
Yeah, works perfect. So that's kind of a cool product there. And it works on the Lesh T-handle Samson and the Lesh products also.
Yep.
So that is a neat product. You can wear it on your belt and keep the shovel out of your hand till you need it.
Yeah, and you also have a lifetime warranty with that. So and same thing with the pull handle and the guide handles. What I use on the sand scoops.
Yes,
those are the same thing. Lifetime warranties on those.
Yeah, excellent product for sure. So how we doing over there, Jeff?
I'm doing good.
I told you he was busy.
Oh well, there's always something,
Okay. Well, Bill Crow said, I got my shovel. Boy, it went that quick. Oh, there it is, back again. Got my shovel holster and a Myers towel the other day. Yes, he did.
And Tom Becker said he took your shovel holster and he modified it to fit his D-handle shovel as well.
Yes. Nice. Yeah, one time I did try a D-handle shovel, and I actually had it to the side where only one of the two clips was holding it, and it seemed to work, but it's made more for the T-handles. Yep.
Yeah, I think he modified his a little bit, and it works perfect.
Good.
Because I believe he has a D-handle Excalibur shovel is what he digs with.
Okay.
So, yeah, he said he trimmed off a 1/2 inch on each side, and it works perfect for his D-handle. Because I guess it's too wide for the D-handle, he trimmed it off, and it worked.
Good enough.
Modified it, yes.
Good enough.
Absolutely. So you're going to do some more hunts then now besides the button?
Oh, absolutely. I'll keep you guys up to date. If whatever hunts I sign up with, I'll let you know ahead of time, and let you know how's everything going.
Now, do you set up there and display your products?
No. If I go, I'm going to hunt.
Oh, okay.
If somebody wants to come with me and work a table, that'd be great. But no, if I go to those hunts, I'm enjoying going hunting.
Yeah, to get out there and get to do something for sure.
Yeah.
It's always better. Working the table or the tent is kind of a little tough.
Yep.
That for 8 hours while everybody else is out there finding the good stuff.
Yep.
I know what you mean for sure. Well, Jeff, it looks like our time is just about done, isn't it?
It's gone, I'm telling you. And we weren't even that blabby. Well, we were kind of blabby, it's a start, but not too bad.
Yeah. Well, folks, like I said, if you didn't win tonight, the Uniprobe, and you want one, just holler at me tomorrow. We got a special show price on it. But I can't put that on the website, but they can call me and we'll get it taken care of. And Carter, I wanted to thank you for coming on here and sharing your wisdom and your cool products that you make for the metal detecting industry for sure. Thank you, Jocelyn, for helping me, and thank you, Jeff, for all you do, buddy.
Hey.
Yes, sir. And
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, we're going to have you back October 7th.
Sounds
I've
good.
got it written down. I won't be here. I'll be on a vacation. Philip will be running the ship.
Yes. Hopefully I'll do it good, Jeff.
So I think it'd be a perfect guest. Carter would be a perfect guest. So I'll send you an email tomorrow sometime to firm it up, Carter, but I'll put it on our schedule. And next week, if you will join us, please, we're going to have, everybody's heard the tale of Jimmy Crossbones and how he drowned. Jimmy Crossbones and his friend, Captain Nemo, the one that was with him, are going to be our guests, and they're going to tell us all about it, how it happened, everything. So be here next week when Jimmy Crossbones and Captain Nemo will be our guests, and you're going to find it very, very fascinating. So there again, Carter, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, and I know you are very, very busy. And tell your daughter she done good.
Yes, she did. Thank you.
She did good.
It does look good.
All right.
Great.
Thank you.
And we will see all of y'all fine people. Thank you for watching. And remember the reason for Memorial Day. And again, I want to thank you for indulging me with letting me put that. We ran at the open of the show. And we just say a prayer silently for all those that went before that give us what we have today. So thank you for watching. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Happy hunting. See you guys.
Thank you.